For decades, the energetic band leader and jazz icon Cab Calloway thrilled crowds with his exciting performances. But behind the spotlight, Cab kept many shocking secrets that not many known. Who was the real Cab Calloway? What lies beneath the legacy of this jazz royalty? And what about his iconic Fieldston home, recently sold for $2.1 million? His demolished Baltimore home? In today's video, we'll dive into the mystery of Cab Calloway's hidden life, his rise to fame, his immense net worth, and the tragic end to his incredible journey. Stick around, because the truth behind this jazz legend is even more fascinating and sad than you might think. Cab Calloway, born Cabell Calloway III on December 25, 1907, in Rochester, New York, came from an African-American family with a strong academic background. His father, Cabell Calloway Jr., was a lawyer and real estate agent who graduated from Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. His mother, Martha Eulalia Reed, a graduate of Morgan State College, worked as a teacher and church organist. Together, they had 4 children, including Cab. In 1919, when Cab was just 11, the family moved to Baltimore, Maryland. Not long after the move, his father passed away, and his mother remarried. Calloway grew up in West Baltimore's Druid Hill neighborhood. As a child, he often skipped school to earn money by selling newspapers, shining shoes, and cooling down horses at the Pimlico racetrack, a job that sparked his lifelong interest in horse racing and betting. One day, after his mother caught him playing dice on the church steps, she sent him to Downingtown Industrial and Agricultural School, a reform school run by her uncle, in 1921. The following year, Cab returned to Baltimore, where he continued working various jobs, including catering, while attending Frederick Douglass High School. There, he received private singing lessons from William Llewellyn Wilson, a renowned teacher who mentored other Baltimore music legends. Despite his parents' and teachers' objections, Cab pursued his passion for jazz. He regularly performed with Ike Dixon's band at school dances and played in local juke joints and clubs. He was mentored by famed drummer Chick Webb and pianist Johnny Jones, performing with Jones's Arabian Tent Orchestra, much to his parents' dismay. In his senior year, Cab also joined his high school basketball team and later played professionally with the Baltimore Athenians in the Negro Professional Basketball League. He graduated from high school in 1925, ready to make his mark in the world. After graduating in 1925, Cab Calloway began performing in Baltimore nightclubs, drawing inspiration from mentors like Chick Webb and Johnny Jones. Despite disapproval from his parents and teachers, Cab remained determined to pursue his passion. In the summer of 1927, he joined his older sister, Blanche Calloway, on tour with the famous black musical revue Plantation Days. Blanche was already a successful band leader and the first African-American woman to lead her own orchestra. Her influence, along with that of his study partner Ruth Maccabee, further fueled his love for show business. After the tour, Calloway enrolled at Crane College to study law to please his mother, who hoped he would follow in his father's footsteps. However, his true passion lay in singing and performing. Cab spent most nights in Chicago nightclubs like Sunset Cafe and Club Berlin, where he worked as a singer, drummer, and master of ceremonies. He often performed with Louis Armstrong, who introduced him to the art of scat singing, creating melodies with nonsensical sounds. Determined to follow his dreams, Calloway dropped out of law school in 1929 and joined the Alabamians Band in New York. Their first performance was at the Savoy Ballroom on September 20th of that year. Though the Alabamians soon disbanded, Calloway's talent as a band leader was recognized. Armstrong recommended him as a replacement singer for the musical revue Connie's Hot Chocolates, where he made a name for himself singing Ain't Misbehavin' by Fats Waller. While performing in the revue, another opportunity arose for him to lead the Missourians Band in 1930. The band was renamed Cab Calloway and his orchestra, and they continued to gain recognition. A key opportunity eventually propelled them into the spotlight. In 1931, the Missourians were hired to perform at the Cotton Club in Harlem, New York, filling in for the Duke Ellington Orchestra during their tour. The band's popularity soared, securing a permanent spot at the club. This marked the beginning of Cab Calloway's rise to stardom. He performed twice a week for NBC radio broadcasts and appeared with Walter Winchell and Bing Crosby, becoming the first African-American to have a nationally syndicated radio show at just 23 years old. Despite the Great Depression, Calloway made a fortune, earning up to $50,000 through his music. That same year, Calloway recorded his most famous song, Minnie the Moocher, showcasing his unique scat singing. He also performed St. James Infirmary Blues and The Old Man of the Mountain, which were featured in Betty Boop cartoons in 1932 and 1933. Calloway provided the voice for the cartoons, and his dance moves were used through rotoscoping. Minnie the Moocher became the first single by an African-American artist to sell 1 million copies, propelling Calloway to fame. The song's iconic hi-de-ho chorus, improvised when he forgot a lyric, became his signature, earning him the nickname the Hi-de-Ho Man of Jazz. Minnie the Moocher was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1999 and added to the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry in 2019. Cab Calloway was known for his energetic and humorous performances, delighting audiences with his white-tailed tuxedo, oversized baton, eccentric dance moves, and wild hair flips. His band featured talented musicians like trumpeters Dizzy Gillespie, Jonah Jones, and Adolphus Doc Cheatham, saxophonists Ben Webster and Leon Chu Berry, guitarist Danny Barker, bassist Milt Hinton, and drummer Cozy Cole. Calloway played a key role in advancing their careers and making their names famous. Beyond making music together, Calloway and his bandmates also formed baseball and basketball teams, competing against each other and local semi-pro teams during their tours. They participated in charity games, traveling across the U.S., Europe, South America, and the Caribbean, performing as both a band and a sports team. However, by the late 1940s, the popularity of large swing bands waned after World War II, as people gravitated towards smaller bebop combos, leading to the band's breakup. In addition to his musical career, Calloway had a passion for education. In 1938, he self-published Cab Calloway's Catalog, A Hepster's Dictionary, the first dictionary written and published by an African American. He revised and republished it himself over the years. Throughout his career, Calloway had numerous hit records and made it onto the Billboard charts in 5 consecutive decades, from the 1930s to the 1970s. Calloway's talents went beyond music, extending to acting. He became a household name through his TV appearances and occasional concerts in the U.S. and Europe. In the 1930s, he starred in a series of short films for Paramount, showcasing his band more than any other jazz orchestra of the time. In these films, Calloway performed a gliding backstep dance move, which some believe was a precursor to Michael Jackson's moonwalk. He appeared in several films, including The Big Broadcast, Stormy Weather, Sensations of 1945, The Cincinnati Kid, and Hi-de-Ho. Calloway also performed in stage productions like Porgy and Bess in 1953 and Hello, Dolly in 1967. One of his most notable appearances came in the 1980 John Landis comedy The Blues Brothers, where he performed Minnie the Moocher with the same energy as he had in 1931. This became his most famous film appearance and his last. In 1993, President Bill Clinton awarded Calloway the National Medal of Arts, recognizing his significant contributions to the arts and theater industry. Death and influence. On June 12, 1994, Cab Calloway suffered a stroke at his home in Westchester County, New York. 5 months later, on November 18, 1994, he passed away from pneumonia at the age of 86 in a nursing home in Hockessin, Delaware. He was survived by his wife, 5 daughters, and 7 grandsons, and was buried at Ferncliff Cemetery in Hartsdale, New York. Even after his death, Calloway continued to receive recognition for his extraordinary talent and career. In 2008, he was posthumously awarded the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. His song, Minnie the Moocher, was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1999 and added to the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry in 2019. In 2022, the National Film Registry selected his home films for preservation, recognizing them as culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. Calloway was also inducted into the Big Band and Jazz Hall of Fame and the International Jazz Hall of Fame, among other honors. His influence spanned generations, inspiring musicians like James Brown, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, and modern hip-hop performers. In 1993, journalist Timothy White wrote in Billboard, "No living pathfinder in American popular music or its jazz and rock and roll capillaries is so frequently emulated, yet so seldom acknowledged as Cab Calloway. He arguably did more things first and better than any other band leader of his generation." Marriage and family. In January 1927, while studying law, Cab Calloway became a father. He and a fellow student named Zelma Proctor had a daughter, Kamei, although they were not married. Kamei would go on to follow in her father's pioneering footsteps, becoming one of the first African Americans to teach at a predominantly white school in Virginia. Despite the challenges, she forged her own path, leaving her mark on education and proving that her father's legacy extended beyond music. Over a year after Kamei was born, Calloway married his first wife, Winona Betty Conacher, on July 19, 1928. Winona came from a wealthy background, and their union marked a period of stability for Calloway. The couple adopted another daughter, Constance, adding to their growing family. However, despite the wealth and status, their marriage ended in divorce in 1949, after more than 2 decades together. Later that same year, Calloway found love again, marrying Zulmi Nuffy McNeil on October 7th. Nuffy, a woman of grace and strength, gave birth to 3 daughters: Chris Callaway, Cecilia Eulalia Calloway, and Cabela Calloway. The family settled in Long Beach on the south shore of Long Island, New York. In the 1950s, Calloway moved his family to Westchester County, New York, where he would continue to live and raise his daughters until his death. His youngest daughter, Chris, was especially influenced by her father's career, following in his footsteps as a singer. Chris joined him as he revived his famous Cotton Club act, touring together and continuing the Calloway legacy on stage. Chris Callaway. Chris Callaway was born on September 21, 1945, in Los Angeles, California. As the daughter of jazz legend Cab Calloway, Chris quickly made a name for herself as a respected American jazz singer and actress. She became an integral part of her father's band, performing regularly with the Hi-De-Ho Orchestra from the 1970s until 1994. Her musical background and natural talent propelled her career beyond just performances with her father. Chris also ventured into acting, starring as Minnie Fay in Pearl Bailey's Broadway production of Hello, Dolly, and taking on the role of Brenda in the 1973 Broadway revival of The Pajama Game, where she understudied Barbara McNair as Babe. In addition to her singing, Chris was also an accomplished actress, appearing in films like The Importance of Being Earnest, The Landlord, and The Doctors. Sadly, Chris Callaway passed away on August 7, 2008, after a long battle with breast cancer. Her death marked the loss of another iconic figure in jazz and the entertainment world. At the time of her death, records confirmed that Cab Calloway had 5 children, but the world was taken by surprise when rumors surfaced about a previously hidden child. Janet Dubois, brief biography. The secret child turned out to be none other than the legendary Janet Dubois. Born Jeanette Teresa Dubois, she was better known to the world as Janet Dubois, an American actress and singer. Dubois was widely recognized for co-writing and singing the iconic theme song Movin' On Up for the Jeffersons, and for her portrayal of Willona Woods, the neighborhood gossip on Good Times. Despite her fame, much about Janet's life remained a mystery due to her private nature. The exact details of her birth remain unclear. Some sources speculate she was born in Brooklyn, New York, or Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, while others suggest 1932 or 1938. Janet herself claimed she was born in 1945. Janet came from a poor African-American family and faced many hardships in her early life. These challenges fueled her determination to succeed. She was married before gaining fame, tying the knot with Sajit Gupta, an Indian American, in 1950. Together they had 4 children, though one tragically died from cancer. The couple's marriage was troubled, and they divorced in April 1958, though some reports indicate they were still legally married as late as 1964. Just before launching her entertainment career, Janet met and fell in love with actor Brock Peters in 1959. While their relationship remained largely private, it is believed to have inspired Janet to pursue her acting and singing talents. Although Brock Peters married someone else, Janet remained focused on her career, eventually becoming an influential figure in the entertainment industry. Janet Dubois' breakthrough came in 1973 when she landed a role in Lanford Wilson's play The Hot L Baltimore at the Mark Taper Forum in Los Angeles. Her dynamic performance caught the attention of TV producer Norman Lear, who was in the audience. Impressed by her talent, Lear cast her in his CBS sitcom Good Times as Willona Woods, the feisty and charismatic next-door neighbor and best friend of Florida Evans, the family matriarch. This role proved to be a major turning point in Janet's career, giving her national recognition and a strong foothold in the entertainment industry. As her fame continued to grow, Janet expanded her career into the music industry. In the early 1980s, she founded her own music label, Peanuts and Caviar, and released her album Again Janet Dubois in 1983. She also released a CD titled Hidden Treasures, which featured the iconic TV theme song Movin' On Up, a track that had cemented her place in television history. Janet's versatility as an entertainer earned her admiration and love across different fields, whether in acting, singing, or producing, and she remained a respected figure in the industry for years. Scandals. On February 17, 2020, Janet Dubois passed away at the age of 74 from cardiac arrest at her home in Glendale, California. Despite her fame, Janet was known for her private nature, and even those close to her were unaware of the extent of her health issues. Her death left a deep void in the entertainment world, as fans mourned not only her incredible talent, but also the kindness and warmth she had shared throughout her career. Her death certificate, which was released by the Los Angeles County Public Health Office, revealed an unexpected and startling truth about her parentage. Contrary to what the media had long believed, Janet's birth name was listed as Janet T. Calloway Dubois, meaning she was secretly the daughter of jazz legend Cab Calloway. This revelation came as a shock, adding a new layer of intrigue to her already mysterious life. For years, the media had reported that Janet was the daughter of Lillian Goudy and Gordon Dubois. However, her death certificate cast doubt on that narrative, sparking speculation and a wave of questions about her true family background. The revelation that she was Cab Calloway's daughter, hidden in plain sight for decades, changed the way the public viewed her story. But sadly, Janet was not alive to clear up the mystery herself. Rumors and revelations. The revelation that Janet Dubois was secretly the daughter of jazz legend Cab Calloway sent shockwaves through the media, sparking a frenzy as journalists scrambled to uncover the truth. This news shed new light on previously hidden aspects of Janet's life and family. Her daughter later confirmed that Janet was indeed the child of both Lillian Goudy and Cab Calloway, a revelation that added layers of complexity to her already intriguing background. Rumors had long circulated that Cab, who was already married at the time, had been involved with Lillian while still married. The timeline of these rumors pointed to 1928, a period when Lillian worked at a sweater factory just as Cab was rising to fame. 2 years after Janet's birth, Lillian married Gordon Dubois, who became Janet's stepfather and played a significant role in raising her. However, the truth of the rumor about Cab's relationship with Lillian remains uncertain, as Lillian, Cab, and Janet are all no longer alive to confirm or deny the details. The media frenzy surrounding this revelation only deepened the mystery of Janet's parentage, leaving questions that may never be fully answered. Further adding to the intrigue, Janet's death certificate revealed that she was born in 1932, not 1945 as previously believed. This meant she was 88 years old at the time of her death, not 74. The revelation of her true age, combined with the confirmation of her connection to Cab Calloway, only amplified the striking similarities between the two, leading many to remark, like father, like daughter. Estate statement. In response to the swirling rumors about Janet Dubois's parentage, Cab Calloway's estate issued a statement expressing admiration for Janet's career and contributions to the entertainment industry. However, they made it clear that they were unaware of any biological connection between Cab and Janet. The estate also noted that the death certificate, which confirmed the claim, contained numerous discrepancies and lacked proper verification, leaving the true nature of their relationship a lingering mystery. While the questions surrounding Janet's paternity may never be fully answered, Calloway's legacy remains undeniably significant, both in his musical influence and his historical ties to one of the most iconic periods in jazz history. Cab Calloway's former Fieldston home. As the media storm surrounding the Dubois family unfolded, Calloway's former Fieldston home in the Bronx was quietly placed on the market for $2.1 million. The Tudor-style mansion, just a stone's throw away from the iconic Mediterranean-style abode of Dr. Zizmore, offers a glimpse into the life of the legendary 1940s jazz singer and bandleader. This elegant home, located at 4746 Iselin Avenue, boasts 5 spacious bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, and 2 half-baths, making it perfect for both privacy and hosting guests. The home's living room features a grand piano, a subtle nod to the lavish soirees Cab Calloway might have hosted in this unassuming mansion. While the home's exterior may appear modest, it's easy to imagine the legendary musician entertaining friends and fellow artists in the heart of this historic residence. Despite its rich history, the home has been on and off the market in recent months, initially listed at $2.239 million in August 2014, before being lowered to $1.99 million just 5 days ago. The mansion, though less flashy than the grandiose clubs where Calloway often performed, carries with it the aura of a time when jazz legends regularly filled living rooms with music and stories. Baltimore home of jazz leader Cab Calloway demolished. The former home of jazz legend Cab Calloway, located at 2216 Druid Hill Avenue in Baltimore, was demolished in 2019, marking the end of an era for the legendary bandleader's connection to the city. This house, where Calloway spent his teenage years, held significant historical value as a place where the future star of the Cotton Club and iconic jazz musician developed his early love for music. The demolition of the home has sparked outrage and disappointment among local activists and even Calloway's own grandson, who believe the house should have been preserved as a piece of Baltimore's cultural history. For many, it was a reminder of the legendary jazz icon's roots, a physical connection to a time when Calloway's career was beginning to flourish. Stephen Reed, a longtime resident of Druid Hill Avenue, who has lived in the area for 59 years, expressed his regret over the loss. "They should have saved this building," Reed said, reflecting the sentiment of many who felt the house was worth preserving. In 2019, Fox 45 spoke with members of the Druid Heights Community Corporation, including Executive Director Anthony Presley, who explained that the building had fallen into disrepair. "We would have done anything to save the home," Presley said, But if you leave it standing there for 45 years with no plan to restore it, then you've just held the community back. The demolition was part of a larger redevelopment plan for the area, which included turning parts of Druid Hill Avenue into a public park. Although the city had reportedly halted the demolition in April, the destruction ultimately went ahead, marking the end of the house's long-standing place in Baltimore's history. Calloway's net worth at the time of his death and who inherited his wealth. At the time of his death in 1994, Calloway had accumulated a significant fortune, thanks to his successful career in music, film, and television. As one of the most influential jazz musicians of his time, Calloway's net worth was estimated to be around $2 million. While this may seem modest by today's standards, it was a substantial amount for an artist who thrived during the Great Depression and continued to perform well into the 1970s. During his prime, Calloway's salary was impressive, especially for an African-American entertainer in the early to mid-20th century. He earned up to $50,000 annually during the height of his career, a significant sum at the time. Much of his income came from his performances at prestigious venues like the Cotton Club in Harlem, radio shows, film appearances, and record sales. His signature song, Minnie the Moocher, alone contributed significantly to his earnings, becoming a multi-million selling hit. At the time of his passing, Calloway's wealth was inherited by his wife, Zolme Nuffy McNeil, and their daughters. His family continued to honor his legacy in the music world, with his daughters, particularly Chris Callaway, keeping his memory alive through performances. Despite the passage of time, Callaway's influence on jazz music, culture, and entertainment has ensured that his wealth and legacy endured, with his music continuing to be celebrated by new generations. Calloway's story is one of brilliance, resilience, and lasting influence. From his humble beginnings in Baltimore to his rise as one of America's greatest jazz icons. Even decades after his death, his music, charisma, and pioneering spirit continue to inspire musicians and fans around the world. His demolished Baltimore home may be gone, but his legacy still echoes through every swing rhythm and scat phrase he brought to life. What do you think? Should Calloway's childhood home have been preserved as a national landmark to honor his legacy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories about Calloway's life, his net worth, and the untold history behind the legends of jazz royalty.